Dang, okay. Okay, cool. Yes! I managed to delay it just enough with the way that I was pressing the A button. I managed to, like, delay my button presses in just the right way to get both of the last two hits of that upgrade combo, which was necessary. 1 minute and 8 seconds on the timer, so I think that this is tied with what I said that I got in my world record. But that was necessary to not lose like 12 seconds. Oh my gosh. That is crazy. I don't know how to explain it, but there's just like this, I'm not really sure. I guess you kind of just have to get a feeling for it, but if you like hold the attack button, the attack takes longer than if you just tap it or something. It's kind of weird. Like if you hold the button, then the attack takes a little longer. And so how quickly you release it basically determines how quickly the attack comes out. So like if I tap the button for just like a fraction of a second, then the attack is going to happen very quickly. But if I tap the button and like hold it for a little bit longer before I release it, then it's still like it's slightly slower. The attack is. So it's weird how that works. I noticed it like 2 days ago when I was going for world record on level 12. I had to time that because I messed up a bit, so it didn't really seem to lose much time though. It was only one boost that I missed out on, so I guess that's why probably. Oh, that's okay. I was not expecting that to go so well. Alright, cool. Maybe I shouldn't have done that, but I think that it's fine. Oh, this is good. What the heck? 2 minutes and 50 seconds on the timer. That is crazy fast. If anything has a chance, it's this. This is the attempt. Let's do it. Come on, 3 minutes and 58 seconds. New world record. Or faster even. Okay, let's do this, come on. Okay, let's hope that this works. It's gonna work, come on. Well, it almost worked. How long would this take if I just kept this up? Oops, I'm messing this part up a lot, but hang on. If I finish this out, how long would this take? Probably like 4:13, 4:14. Okay. Technically, though, my world record does retry from checkpoints, because that is technically allowed in this game for speedrunning. It feels kind of silly and I don't want to do it, but this has a shot at being a new world record. So I'll give it a chance, maybe. Okay, cool, hang on, wait. Retrying from checkpoints to get a world record does feel pretty silly, but I did it once on this level.
No one defies Thunderwing.
And I wonder technically, I wonder if you lose time for moving to the side at all in the vehicle sections. It probably wouldn't matter because it'd be so incredibly minimal, like hundredths of a second probably, and since this game, in-game timer is what's used for speedruns in individual levels in this game, it would only matter if it makes you not be able to get a lower second, basically. But I wonder hypothetically optimal strategies here would be to like intentionally fail the vehicle section and then retry from a checkpoint so you can go in a direct straight line. Uh-oh. Because if you can go in a direct straight line, then that would be faster than moving to the side, right? But I mean, it probably doesn't matter. It'd be, like I said, maybe hundredths of a second. I'm not even sure it loses time. Probably does, but I don't know. So it's interesting to think about. Okay, cool. Alright, this is the attempt, come on. Okay, that was almost something.
No one defies Thunderwing.
Oh, okay, no.
No one defies Thunderwing.
Okay.
I will crush you.
I wonder if you can do a melee attack there.
No one defies
Probably doesn't really matter that much, but it'd be interesting to know if you could. I don't think so, but maybe if you have like a really specific timing and angle, you could get one. I know you can get one charge shot off. I've been doing that. Okay, that was kind of messy, but it's fine. Alright, cool.
Is that the best you can do?
Alright, let's do this. Come on. So yeah, that charge shot. Or it's not even a charge shot, it's an upgrade shot, I guess.
No one defies
But
Thunderwing.
my point stands. That you can get a projectile off at the beginning, and it works. It actually hits the move. Okay.
I will crush you. Is that the best you can do?
Dang it, no. Okay, on. Wait just a minute. I don't think that I'm really onto much there, but that's an interesting concept, if nothing
No
else.
one defies Thunderwing.
Maybe I'll mess with it since there's not much in the way of stakes here, since I'm just going to be retrying over and over. If that makes it easier, then that's worth trying, you know? No, that didn't seem to work. I don't think that really is going to matter.
No one defies
I don't think it's going to be, like, actually easier to time that the way that I just did it with that alternate combo method. I think the one that I have is probably pretty much good, but I don't know. I'm not sure if there's a better way of lining up the timing though, you know? Because if there is, then that would be really nice.
I'll smash you to atoms. No one defies Thunderwing. Prepare for meltdown.
Wait. That might be aligned properly this time? Dang, that alignment. Didn't I do 8 shots in my world record though? How did I have time for that?
No one
And it still
defies
worked.
Thunderwing.
How did I possibly do that? I think maybe what I did. Oh, wait a minute. I think I'm doing something a bit different. I think I only did 2 attacks before doing the shots in my world record instead of 3. I don't know if that makes it easier to time. I guess I can check. Let me see.
I will crush you. Is that the best you can do? I'll smash you to atoms. No one defies Thunderwing.
Okay. Nice.
I'll smash you to atoms.
Come on. Nope, I kind of thought as much. I wonder if I landed like 1 or 2 less charge shots, if that would be fine. But I don't know. It's probably good. I don't know. Or upgrade shots. I keep calling them charge shots. I'm not charging them, so they're not charge shots. They're upgrade shots because they're just, you know, upgrade mode projectiles. But they look like charge shots, although they're technically not the same as charge shots. Like, I think that they do a different amount of damage, and I guess that's really the only difference. And they don't require charging is the other difference. Okay, I tried the different timing. Dang, that... How tight is that timing? I'm actually genuinely really curious to see, like, how many frames you have to land a hit after Thundering initiates that animation. I guess if I make it to a speedrun of this game, I need to do that at some point. I guess whenever I do that, I need to figure out if I can pin down how long you actually have, how small that window is, because it feels like it's only got to be like a handful of frames or something. It's not like maybe 3 or 4. It doesn't feel like there's that much leeway. Because you're never supposed to do that. This is a completely unintended strategy, but it's really cool that it's a thing. Like, it's difficult and that is kind of annoying, but the fact that it exists is honestly, I'm really happy about it, because I think about that now and I'm thinking about it and like, that's so cool that it just barely works, you know? How long does the second flight last for, actually? That's like 18 seconds. What the hell?
No one defies Thunderwing!
I can't believe that I dodged those. What the heck? Okay, sure. I'll take it, you know? That was a bit odd timing, but okay.
Is that the best you can do?
Let's see. Wait, I didn't think that through. It doesn't really matter anyway, but it's just interesting that I mistimed it.
I'll turn you to ash!
Okay, this can work. That timing is so close.
No one defies Thunderwing!
Oops. That was almost the timing. That was so good. How do you time this?
No one defies
I'm really,
Thunderwing!
really trying to figure it out. Wait, that was a bizarre way of timing it, but okay.
Is that the best you can do?
I really do need a consistent strategy for this, because this setup is just
No one defies
kind of
Thunderwing!
brutal. Like, it's... In theory, it's good, but it just... I'm not quite figuring the timing out just yet. I'm getting there, though. I'm definitely gonna get it. I tried to transform you there, and that didn't work. Okay.
Burn, insect!
Alright, this can still be really good, though. Never mind. Okay. So it's barely after they go into the red is when they can't take damage anymore.
I'll turn you to ash!
I mean, I already knew that, but it's just kind of interesting. It's not exactly when they go red, it's right after they go red, you know? And that's pretty interesting to me. Cool. Okay. That! Ah! How do I time it?
I'll turn you to ash!
I think I'm gonna switch to trying the other timing. I forgot about it again until just now. I did it just a few minutes ago, but I forgot about it. So quickly. Okay, cool. Never mind, I kind of went on autopilot, so mentally, so I didn't do it.
I'll turn you to ash!
Wait, that's like consistent or something. What the heck? I forgot it again. Okay, hang on, this has a chance. I got that lockdown, hang on. And this is like the optimal thing for Thunderling to be doing. What the heck? That's not good though. I had a really big world record if I... This still could, I think, hypothetically be a 358? Or it could have been? It's a 359. I could have gotten a world record still. Oh my goodness. This is probably still a lower 359 if I let it play out and let that shot hit, but I don't... This could be really good. I just feel so silly about this whole retry from checkpoint until I get it thing. Like, it's just... It was my idea in the first place, and I already had a world record with it. But, like, it just feels dumb to not do it all in one go, but at the same time, it's taking me this long with retrying from checkpoints. So it's like, from the in-game checkpoints, you know? It's so silly. Well, I got the lockdown again. I kind of expected that.
I'll smash you to atoms!
That's technically world record. I feel like that was so dumb. It could have been a couple seconds faster too if I just did better on the reach. I have to upload this now. Oh my lord. It feels, I don't know, it just feels kind of silly to do it with checkpoint retries like this, because it's a 3 minute and 58 second world record, but it's like a, I don't know, hour and a half long video probably? Gosh. It's just such a difficult thing to do that it feels necessary to do it this way, because, like, I mean, that's how, I'm spending that long with the ability to retry. Of those 3 minutes and 58 seconds, only about a minute of that, like a minute and 8 seconds of in-game time was spent on the third phase. For that 1 minute and 8 second long section, that's where like all of this entire recording came in, basically. It was for like an hour to an hour and a half of it of footage is just that phase. And that is just how few times I get that lockdown. In the future, I think I'm just gonna stop doing it with that. With retries like that, because even if it takes me like 10 times as long, it just feels so silly to have like an hour and a half long video for a 4 minute world record. like I said, it was my idea. I'm the one who decided that it should be allowed in the first place. Or who decided that that was a good idea to make it allowed, but like, it just feels so... It feels so silly to do it that way. I don't know. Like, I guess maybe if other people want to do that, still, they can. But for me, I think I need to stop doing that, because I don't want to get world records that are 4 minutes long with like hour and a half long videos. I don't want to do that. It just seems stupid, you know? But like, yeah. That's basically the gist of it. I think technically some of this recording was like failed attempts retrying from the beginning. And I mean, if we're being technical, if you retry even from the very beginning of a level, that is technically retrying from a checkpoint. But retrying from the beginning of a level, well, even though it says checkpoint reached whenever you start a level, it's still the beginning of the level, right? Like, retrying from the beginning of the level is more convenient than having to, like, you know, pause, quit, back out of the level, and spend a few seconds, you know, backing out and re-entering the level every single time. And functionally, I believe, and functionally, I don't think that it would ever, that there would ever be a difference between starting a level by, like, actually selecting it from the stage select and starting it by retrying from the very beginning. I don't think that there's... I could be wrong. There could be, like, some really minor, super minute, subtle difference in that. But as far as I'm aware, there's literally no difference in that. So that makes sense to allow, right? It just makes it a little bit more convenient to retry. And in the case of levels like levels 9, 10, and 12, that only have, like, one section. They're only boss fights and nothing else. It really makes sense to do it there. And even level 11, it's got two sections. It starts with a boss fight and then has the second section, but the second section is like... retrying from that checkpoint would be silly, but retrying from the first checkpoint, just, it's helpful, it's convenient, and it, like, it makes it a little quicker to retry stuff, and it functionally should be identical, I believe. I don't think that there'd be any advantage or disadvantage to retrying from a checkpoint as opposed to not retrying from a checkpoint. But this just is like I said, hour-and-a-half long video for like a 4-minute world record. Or a 3-minute and 58-second world record, of course. You know, like, it just seems kind of absurd to do it this way. But like I said, if other people want to speedrun this level and want to try to go for world record and do it with retrying from checkpoints, then, I mean, I'm not going to stop anyone from doing that because I've done it like twice now. It was my idea to even have it be allowed in the rules in the first place. It's on speedrun.com, you know? So I mean, I'm not going to go back on that, you know? But what I am going to do is, instead of, I think in the future is, no matter how much slower and more inconvenient it is, to actually speedrun it as one single thing instead of retrying from, you know, the second, or not the second checkpoint. There's no reason you'd retry from that one, really, because that second section is pretty much like the most free, unfailable thing practically. Like, I mean, you can fail it, but you have to, like, not be paying attention basically. But retrying from the third or fourth section, like from those checkpoints, especially the fourth and final phase, like, I'm just going to stop doing that in the future, I think. Because I want the world record to actually be one continuous thing and not like an hour of me retrying. I mean, hypothetically, I guess I could prevent the video from being an hour-and-a-half long by just editing out all the failed attempts between, like, the third phase and the fourth phase. Like, all the what I mean is all the failed attempts at the fourth phase, specifically, is what I mean. I guess I could do that, but that just... I don't know. It feels kind of weird to cut it out, because, like, you're not really... You don't really edit speedruns, you know, that's not... Because that's technically considered cheating. So, like, if you edit them, in the sense that you're, like, cutting out part of the actual run, I guess, I don't know. But, like, I can't, in a way, I'm not cutting out any part of the actual run, because I'm just cutting out the failed attempts. But I'm not going to do that, you know? Because it feels too, like, borderline illegitimate to do that. Because even the failed attempts is like, they're not part of the run, but they kind of feel like they are in a way, in the sense that the footage should be there, I feel like. So yeah. New world record by 1 second. I mean, I guess at this point, before I do a full game 80% run, I'm just gonna go for like every single individual level world record. Or I'm gonna beat all of them, all my 80% individual level world records, that is. I'm just gonna do that, I guess, at this point, because I've already gotten the level 9 world record, I've beaten that, I've beaten my level 6 world record, and I've beaten my level 12 world record. So, and now I beat my level 13 world record. I can definitely beat my level 10 world record. And then I guess I could probably beat my level 5 world record as well. And then for everything else, I actually still have footage from like July of 2023, July 13th and 14th of 2023. I got world records that I still haven't uploaded for like 2.5 years. It's kind of silly, but I mean, I literally got... I've broken every minute barrier in any percent in individual levels for any percent. I've broken every minute barrier on every level in any percent, except for level 8. My world record in level 8 is 7 minutes and 0 seconds, so it's exactly 7 minutes basically. I've gotten that time twice. So that sub 7 minute time on level 8, that's the last minute barrier in any percent for individual levels. But I still have, but some of the minute barriers that I've broken, and then also some other world records that broke, like, 30-second barriers or 10-second barriers, that kind of thing. I have like 6 world records, or I guess 7 if we're counting the 7 minute and 0 second level 8. Yeah, I have like 6 or 7 world records. Technically more than that, because like before I got some of those times, I got other similar, like times that were close but not quite there. So, I mean, I got some world records that I just haven't uploaded yet. I need to edit, like, the failed attempts out, and just, for those, and just, like, finally upload them. But yeah, I've been talking a while, but I guess I can't feel too bad about talking forever, because this is already going to be like an hour and a half long, even without all this talking, so whatever, I guess. So yeah, I guess I'll probably edit out the failed attempts from before the successful run started. But, so like before I, like got the first part of the level successfully, because that, obviously those are before the actual run itself, so they're not really part of the run, so of course I edit out failed attempts and individual level stuff, because obviously I'm going to upload the world record. It's like a video of the world record, not all the failed attempts, and also the world record happens to be in there, But yeah, this has been a few hours. I've had like 2 or 3 recordings today, and this is like, they've all been pretty long, and they're all just trying this. So yeah, I mean, I'm conflicted about this, because I'm happy about this world record, but it's silly to do it with retries like this. So maybe sometime soon, maybe even in the next couple of days, I might try to beat this without all these retries, because it'll feel so much better to actually do it as one continuous run, and not a mostly continuous run, but like for like a continuous run for the first 3 sections, but then the 4th and final section I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna retry here for an hour. But yeah, so this could have been a couple seconds faster though, like I said. If I get the problem is I need good patterns So not doing it with retries, I'm gonna not do it with retries. I'm committing to that idea. Full force, I'm going to get world records in this level from now on without retrying like this. Like retrying from checkpoints like this, but it's gonna be brutal. Because Thunderwing 2, this final is, of course, which is this Thunderwing boss fight, the final boss. This Thunderwing fight is just so random. The crazy thing about this game is that every other boss fight in the game, I think, can be done completely, or at least very close to completely consistently. The only ones that I'm not really sure on, Thunderwing 1, I'd have to double check. I'd have to look at some of my own videos and stuff to see. I'm not sure if Thunderwing 1 is 100% consistent or not. I think so. Yeah, I think Thunderwing 1 is completely consistent. And then all the other boss fights, they're not supposed to be. They're supposed to be random. But, like, for example, Soundwave is the most random fight in the game, probably. Well, yeah, I would say normally in casual gameplay, Soundwave is like the most random fight in the game. But in the speedrun, Soundwave is like completely consistent, or at the very least like 90% consistent. I say that because I've had times where I appear to have done everything correctly for the consistent strategy, and on a handful of occasions, Soundwave doesn't do quite what I expect. So I'm not sure if it's that I like did something ever so slightly wrong, like I maybe just moved slightly the wrong way or something, or if Soundwave does have a small chance to still have randomness. I'm not sure, but Soundwave is either like 100% consistent, like entirely consistent, or very close to it, like 90-ish% consistent, which is really good. Dreadwing, I think, is 100% consistent as well, yeah. And then every other boss fight is, like, I'm pretty sure 100% consistent if you do everything properly. Which is really, really cool, you know? I'm fairly sure. I mean, there could be, like, really uncommon, like, really, really minor chances for them to do random stuff, but I don't think so. I'm pretty sure that every boss is entirely consistent. Except for the final boss. Thunderwing 2 is the one super random boss fight. Thunderwing 2, that final phase especially, you can tell, they were just like, I'm gonna make up for all the other bosses not having... Thunderwing was just like, they were just like, I'm gonna make up for all the other bosses not having randomness by having all the randomness. You know? I don't know. The thing is, I'm not even certain that Thunderwing 2 isn't possible to do completely consistently. I think that is random. But for all I know, if you, like, walk in the exact right angles and at the exact right positions, maybe it is consistent. If you do everything, like, identically every single time, it might not be random. But I don't know that. I guess whenever I make a tool-assisted speedrun of this game, I'll have to test and see if I can determine if Thunderwing is 100% consistent or not. But yeah, I mean, that's the only thing, yeah. The DS version bosses are more random in the DS version, since it's kind of its own thing that's a bit different from the other versions of the game. It's kind of its own separate game entirely, but the DS version has more randomness in the bosses, but they're usually, the randomness is, like, not this bad. Even in the DS version, where there's a lot more random, like, bosses that have randomness. Like, I don't think that there are completely consistent strategies for most of the boss fights in the DS version, or at least not for all of them. At least not any that have been discovered yet. But the bosses have randomness there, but it's not anywhere near as egregious as this. You know, it's like their randomness exists, but it's not like, oh, you just lose 20 seconds if they do it, you know? It's like, it's not like you lose minimum 10, 15, 20 seconds if the boss does something you don't want. But you may lose a few sometimes. I mean, you might lose a few or something, I'm not sure. But not as bad as this one. in this version of the game, and in all of the non-DS versions, so, you know, the Wii U and 3DS versions. Yeah, I've been talking for absolutely forever. Oh my gosh, this is a 2-minute long recording almost. Yeah, I'm gonna stop talking now. I apologize to everyone for this video being this long. It's ridiculous. Like I said, I'm gonna stop doing retries from checkpoints on this level. I don't think they're really helpful in any other level either. Like, that's the thing. Because normally they would be helpful. They're only helpful here because Thunderwing is random, but the other boss fights aren't random, so you don't really need to retry from checkpoints ever. You know, you just need to be good. And also, you need full upgrade meters, or whatever, you know, in some instances, and so retrying from checkpoints actually restarts you from the checkpoint with an empty upgrade meter. So you typically don't want to even retry from checkpoints most of the time. The only reason it's so convenient here is because each separate phase of the boss fight, you start with an empty upgrade meter regardless, you know? It doesn't carry between phases in this fight. Your upgrade meter doesn't. It's always empty at the start of each phase. So that's why retrying from checkpoints is so beneficial here. In other levels, retrying from checkpoints wouldn't be good because the upgrade meter carries from one section to the other. So basically, like if you have, you know, an upgrade meter that's half full and you finish a section, when you enter the next section, you still have half an upgrade meter. You know, it doesn't reset the meter. This final boss fight, like stage 13, that's the exception for some reason. And the upgrade doesn't continue between phases. I wonder if it has something to do with the fact that you're like playing as a different character. Like, they probably, if they wanted to, I'm sure they could have made it carry between phases, but I wonder if it has anything to do with the fact that in phase 1 you're Optimus, in phase 2 you're RC, and then in phase 3 you're Optimus again. I wonder if the fact that this is also the only level in the game where you play as more than one character, so that, you know. So I guess that's really kind of the deal, right? Like, that's really why like why retrying from checkpoints is necessary here and helpful here, and also, of course, in the fourth and final phase, you're essentially in a state of permanently being upgraded. So it kind of, that's why it's faster there too, like, not faster, that's why it's helpful to be able to retry from checkpoints in the final phase of this fight as well, because none of the phases reset your upgrade meter to 0. Well, they all reset it to 0. What I'm trying to say is the upgrade meter carrying over between phases isn't a thing here, so the disadvantage of retrying from checkpoints, essentially wiping all of your synergon from the upgrade meter, that disadvantage doesn't exist in this level, just because the level is like that anyway, where you have an empty meter at the beginning of each phase, except for the final phase where it's just a permanent meter, basically. I explained that pretty badly, but point stands. That's why it's faster to retry. Not faster. I don't know why I keep saying faster. That's why it's convenient to retry from. Can be convenient to retry from checkpoints here. In other levels, I don't think that it would ever be faster to retry from a checkpoint, though. You know, unless there is some kind of weird quirk that loading into a new area is slightly different than retrying from a checkpoint and loading into that same area, but I don't think that would matter. Like, unless there's some really minor quirk like that, I don't think it would ever matter. And so I don't think it would ever be helpful in any other level to retry from a checkpoint, because you always have at least, well, I guess it would hypothetically be helpful in level 1 for the Megatron fights. Actually, it'd be helpful in every part of level 1, I guess, because the upgrade meter is completely empty. Like, you can't fill it up at all until you've done enough damage to Megatron in the fight. So I guess it would hypothetically be convenient there, but there's no randomness in that level, so there's not really a need to. It's just one of the easiest levels to do pretty quickly, you know? Really, the only reason that retrying from checkpoints is even a thing that I'm doing is because this level is just, there's so much randomness in it. That's it, basically. But I'm gonna stop doing that. Like I said, I'm committing to no more checkpoint retries ever, basically. Well, there is one scenario where I would make an exception to that, though, which is if it turns out that the optimal strategy for this level to get the lowest possible in-game time somehow required you to intentionally fail the vehicle section, then retry from checkpoint and say yes when it offers you more health, so that you can, essentially not turn at all and go in a direct straight line and take all the damage from all the shots, then hypothetically, that would be the one exception. If that was necessary to get a perfect time, then I would retry from checkpoints, because obviously it would be required, I guess, but that would be so silly, though. Maybe, though, even in that instance, maybe I could just retry from the checkpoint in the vehicle section, but not allow myself any other retry from checkpoints. I don't know, it still would feel kind of janky, but that would be better, because it would still be like a consistent thing, right? Not consistent, but it would be like it would still be like a... I'm all over the place right now with my words. It'd be like it'd be retrying because it would be required and not because I'm bad, basically. Like, it'd be because it would be required to be optimal. But I sincerely doubt that that's necessary, because I'm not sure that it's entirely impossible to just go in a completely straight line anyway if you just time the boost perfectly. And then, like, the only reason you can't go in a straight line normally is because you would take too much damage. Because, like, you get hit by too many things. But it's mostly just because of the last projectile hitting you. So, I mean, if you could manage to go in a straight line and, like, dodge that without losing any time, then there'd be no reason that retrying for a checkpoint would have any benefit. And even if it did have a benefit, it would be, like, probably such tiny, like, fractions of a second that it almost certainly wouldn't help lower the in-game time to a lower second. So, it wouldn't matter, probably. But yeah, that's the only time I would... If that was somehow required to be perfect, then I would retry from checkpoints in that scenario, and only that scenario, and even then I would only allow myself, I guess, to retry from the checkpoint in the vehicle section specifically, because that would be where it would be optimal. So yeah, that is what I'm going with. Yeah, okay, I guess I'm gonna end the recording in a second. Okay, here we go. Yeah, 3 minutes and 58 seconds, though. New world record, technically by 1 second. But yeah, what other world records do I need to get? I need to get a new level 10 world record if I'm going to get every individual level any % world record, if I'm going to beat all of my records before doing a full game any % run. I guess that I need to do... Ooh, I just thought about, yeah. If full game runs were timed with in-game time instead of real time, then that would kind of make it to where people, like, I would be, like, the logical thing to do would just be retry from checkpoints over and over in this level. Ooh. I guess one could technically ban that in the rules, though, because it would be silly, but at the same time, I don't know. Whatever. They're timed with real time anyway, so it's not like that matters. But I do wonder if full game runs should be timed with in-game time instead, but to be honest, it would be kind of messy now because all the leaderboards pretty much for full game runs are timed with in-game time, so I don't think it would really be it basically required creating entirely separate boards just for the new timing. So I don't think that would be a good idea. It'd be kind of messy, but I mean, like, the only reason that in-game time would be an advantage over real-time is because loading times might be different between versions and also even just between runs on the same version, because loading times might not be completely consistent. But I'm not really gonna deal with that. I mean, who knows? I guess if the other people started running the game and they wanted in-game time over real-time, then sure, I would change the rules to that, I suppose, on speedrun.com. And then I guess we'd have to create new categories for that, probably. And then I guess just not run the old ones anymore? And like just run, I don't know, like not run the current categories and just like replace them with duplicates that are essentially timed with in-game time instead of real-time? I don't know. It just feels kind of janky to do that, you know? So I don't think I'm gonna do that unless people start running the game and they really want to do that. I'm not really sure. But anyway, I cannot believe I've been rambling for like 25, 30 minutes here. Oh gosh, I've been rambling for like 35 minutes. Well, I've drawn this out over half an hour longer than I needed to. What is wrong with me? Okay, it's fine actually. You know, I'm not gonna be too upset about it. Like I said, this is already just kind of a joke how long this is for a 4-minute world record, 3 minute and 58 second world record anyway, but yeah. Yeah, so I guess I might go for some other individual level speedrun world records today. Might go for like level 10 or something, maybe level 5. And then I guess before I go for any of the other ones, I would need to upload my current world records that I still haven't uploaded. And then I can make attempts at those. So yeah, I guess I might need to upload those today or tomorrow. Or, you know, soon, if not specifically today or tomorrow. But yeah, I'm gonna need to do that, so soon, so yeah, but then once I've gotten every 80% individual level world record, I guess I'll go for a new 80% full game 80% world record. I am like honing my skills so much on the levels that I've played and gotten world records in so far though, that I think I'm gonna demolish my full game 80% world record. Like, genuinely, it's a 52-minute and 32-second world record right now. I think I could easily get sub 52 and somewhat easily even get sub 51. Like, I have no idea where this consistency is coming from. On like levels 9, 12, and 6 so far. Like, sure, I practiced them for a while, but like, the consistency is so much better than it was back when I got my world record for full game 80%. And that's crazy because my consistency was really pretty good then. And I just like have only in the last couple days returned to playing the game more than like once a year or something. So, or you know, barely at all a year anyway. So I don't know how my consistency has gotten this good this fast. Like, I went from being out of practice to having the best consistency I have ever had on the 3 levels so far. And I guess technically on level 13 as well, although the randomness probably doesn't really demonstrate that super well. So yeah, that's super cool. Also, am I the only person who's ever kind of thought this music, it's kind of cool, but it's also kind of sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes it feels like it's sad almost. You know? I believe that this song is actually called Absolute Magnitude, I believe is what it's called. But yeah. This game has really good music though. It's like, I feel like the songs in this game are one of those things where you don't really think about it too much, or at least I don't necessarily think about it, that much when I'm listening to them, but they just fit so perfectly. And they're like so similar to how the Transformers Prime, the TV show, had, you know, music. Like, it's so similar to the music from the show, and it's like, you know, more orchestral music, kind of. It's really good music, honestly. But yeah, after a 2 hour and it's just getting to a 2 hour and 17-minute long recording session, I am finally gonna end the recording. So, here we go. Bye. Recording ending now. Here we go. Why am I talking still? Okay, bye everyone.